Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a look at Druid against the Four Horsemen in heroic mode. Now, there's an error with my recording when it happened, so I'm adding this commentary after the game, just to let you know in case anything funky seems to be happening in terms of timing. Here we're mulliganing looking pretty exclusively for Naxxramas, which is our one-shot way of getting rid of the Horsemen. Played 4 or 5 games and never saw the Naxxramas card, even though there are 2 in the deck. What we do have is Crazed Alchemist, which is in there to combo with things like Wrath to take out a Horseman. Pretty much nothing we can do this turn. It's not worth playing a Crazed Alchemist because we'd have to buff a Horseman to a 7-2 and not be able to finish it off, which would be way too much damage. He coins out the Rune Blade, a common play, and that's going to be 6 damage per turn. And it's going to get us down to 17 for now. And start putting a clock on us. There's the combo. It requires 4 mana, so we just heal touch to buy us 1 more turn. And now it's time to apply the combo. Crazed Alchemist something, take it out with Wrath. Pray it's not Avenge so that it doesn't buff one of the other horsemen to a 5-9. We get our wish, it's Repentance, which makes the Crazed Alchemist a 2-1, which would override mine too much. We're going to take 6 more damage and be down to 11, which is a little low on life. And then what options do we have for turn 5? We have a Bite. We do the Bite Claw combo, which gets one of the horsemen down to 1. Doesn't take it out, but it effectively heals us for 6, which is pretty helpful at this point because we are getting low on life. The AI uses Consecration to put us down to 9. It has 4 damage on board, so we're 5 away from death effectively. Now here's an interesting one. We could Force of Nature and get rid of one of the 2-1s at least, but we risk it being Avenge, which will buff the other to a 5-9, which would make it pretty difficult to kill off. We could also Heal Touch to just buy us more time. It gives us 8 health, while he only has 4 attack on board. I don't actually remember what I did, but I think I would Healing Touch here. Yeah.
Will consume you.
Another secret comes out, and that's going to put us down to 14 life. Looks like it's time to take out that 2-1 and pray that he doesn't have Avenge. It effectively puts 1 extra damage on board because you're getting rid of 2 damage but giving 3 damage to the other horseman. But what else are you going to do this turn? Need to start getting rid of those horsemen. It does turn out to be Avenge. Gonna Frostbolt us to the face, and he's gonna Frostbolt himself. What the fuck, David Blaine? That is a bizarre play. That Frostbolt really helps us, because now we can Force of Nature it. And now the only way we really die is if he draws into his second Rune Blade. We don't think he has one, because he would have played it already. So we're highly confident he in fact does not have one. We're going to be mana efficient and not use the claw here. If he brings that out, it's an 8-3. He does in fact top deck it, so now we are close to dead. Mark of the Horseman's it into a 9-4. We do have Cenarius to be able to put out 2 taunts at least, but we're in a very precarious situation. Unless we top deck Savage Roar, and that will be game. The combo pans out, and that is lethal. Thank you for frostbolting your own horseman, that definitely did help. And that will be game. Let's take a look at the deck.
It's so hard.
Here is the deck. The main card in here you want to mulligan for is Naxxramas. We were unlucky and never saw it, but there's 2 in the deck. It draws him cards, but his cards are really not that dangerous if you get rid of the Horseman quickly. I've had games where I kill his Horseman quickly, and he literally just keeps playing nothing each turn. Because there's nothing he can do. He has like direct damage to your face with like Consecrations and Frostbolts, and that's about it. Most of the rest of his deck is minion removal, so if you're not playing minions, he can't do anything. Anyway, so him drawing extra cards is not as important as just getting rid of the Horseman as quickly as possible to neutralize damage. Except you want to be careful removing the last one because his Runeblade can become so powerful. So you ideally want to have kind of weapon removal waiting in hand, like an Acidic Swamp Ooze or a Harrison Jones, so that he only gets 1 hit off on you. Or he's already used both, or he's used one and you're pretty confident he doesn't have the other and you take a calculated risk. What else do we have in the deck? We have the usual Innovate Wild Growth to help us get out the minions we do have quicker. We have Claw and Bite. It's funny, they kind of act as healing too because they give you armor. Like you Bite and Claw, that's 6 health. So even if you hit into a Horseman, you just gained 4 life out of that exchange and took 6 life off of one of those guys. Wrath is there to deal 3 damage to something. Works best comboing it with Crazed Alchemist. You Crazed Alchemist and Wrath to kill a Horseman. It's a nice little combo. Weapon removal. Healing Touch. It buys you extra turns. It's an ice barrier essentially. You know, if he has all his Horsemen out and his weapon, he's doing 8 damage to you per turn. So it only buys you 1 turn. It's not quite as good as it looks at first glance. But it's just a stalling tactic to get to the cards and the combos you're actually looking for. We saw it help us quite a bit in this game. We would have been dead if not for the 2 healing touches. Gave us just enough time to draw into what we need. 1 Savage Roar to combo with the Force of Natures. The problem is that 2 clogs your hand too much, and it's pretty much a dead card without Force of Nature. You don't really want to take, you know, extra damage to your face. You don't really keep minions out for more than 1 turn, so it's just not that useful without Force of Nature. So we have just 1 in. Bite, we talked about, helps bring down the Horseman and buy you life. Keeper of the Grove can silence 1 in a pinch, like if you have your combo ready, Force of Nature, Savage Roar. You know you will have lethal next turn. You can silence the Lost Horseman so that you can go for face. Druid of the Claw, you usually put in taunt mode, just can buy you some life essentially and get some damage done on the Horseman. Harrison Jones is weapon removal. Force of Nature to combo with Savage Roar. Why am I not pointing at it? There we go. Or to just act as removal, like if you've managed to get down 2 Horsemen with combinations of, you know, Bite and Wrath and whatnot, Force of Nature might be able to wipe 1 out or even 2 out if you're lucky, if they're kind of both low on life. Ancient of Lore, given we have like Wild Growths and Innervates, getting out a quick Ancient of Lore can be quite good to draw you 2 cards. Not really in there for the heal, given you have Healing Touch. It's more to draw you 2 cards to get you to something you need quickly, like a Naturalize or a weapon removal or whatnot. Ancient of War, even his abundance of removal cards cannot handle easily, except for Repentance. A couple games ago, we double innovated an Ancient of War, feeling really good. You know, turn 3, 5, 10 out. This should really slow him down. And his secret turned out to be Repentance. Made this a 5-1, gets Mortal Coiled. So other than that, it's a pretty good thing to put in his way. Scenarios can give you 2 taunts if he has his, like, Runeblade out. Well, you'll only be playing this late game, so you've probably got rid of his Horseman, but he may play a Runeblade, and this can get in its way at least. And give you potential minions to combo with something like Savage Roar. So that's the deck. You do need to be a little lucky. Druid's actually one of the weaker classes for taking out, what's it called? The Four Horsemen. Because you really want early removal on those Horsemen, and pretty much the only thing you have for that is Naturalize or an unlikely Crazed Alchemist Wrath combo. So if you don't get that start, you're going to just be taking a little too much damage too quickly, but if you you know, do get your naturalizers, you're in good shape, and it is possible to win without it, as we just saw in this game. So that's the deck. Thanks for watching. See you next time.